There are many people today going to mediums and spirit people to try and find out where their loved ones are and what happens after they die. And they follow them around the country, by what I've heard on TV. And these spiritualists are big names, they're big celebrities. There's been spiritualists throughout the Bible, throughout history, throughout this country in Victorian times. They would call them charlatans because some people, and even today, are charlatans, and they are duping people. But there are some people getting it very correct. I said to a priest once, because it disturbed me, I thought, well, these people seem to be pulling out names. They seem to be pulling out areas. They seem to be able to give a lot of information about these people, so they can't all be lying. Like they say, I've got little Joey here, your son who died or whatever, and he died in a car crash, or he might have done this, I don't know, or they might be some daughter, or they might be a husband that someone's lost and they can't get over it. And the spiritualist tells them a lot of things that only the wife or the husband or whoever's gone to the spiritualist would know. They do read him a lot as well and pan it out. I shouldn't really say this as a Christian, and I wasn't overly a Christian at the time. This woman said to me, that's not an excuse though, this woman said to me, a friend, she said, you should go to the spiritualist church up the road. I won't say where it was. I thought, well, I don't particularly want to go to a spiritualist church. We're told not to go to these places. We're told not to do this, whatever. And the spiritualist church wasn't far from me, so one day I did go to the spiritualist church. I've never been to one before. I went to the spiritualist church and I had a cigarette in my mouth as I was standing outside before I went in. I was a bit nervous going in. I thought, well, this is a bit heavy. And there was lots of people going in. And I had a cigarette, and I used to smoke then, and I don't smoke anymore. And I'm quite pleased. That wasn't to do with spiritualism or anything. But I don't smoke anymore. And then I went in there and I sat down, and I sat a bit at the back. I was thinking, I hope he picks me. This man, he was an Irish man who was doing the spiritualist. It was in a spiritualist church. And he spoke to this woman, I don't know who she was, and he said that I've got Uncle Bob here or whatever it was, and he's got a bayonet with him, he was in the army. She said, yeah, that's Uncle Bob or someone. And then he spoke to other people and he was getting it right for them as well. He might have got a few things wrong, I don't know. And then he pointed to me. I thought, oh, this is the one. And he said, I saw you when you first came in. He said that a man came in with you and he walked in with you. And I thought, well, that could be my dad. He died a long time ago. And he said he wouldn't be averse to giving you a clip around the ear when you were younger. I thought, well, he might have done. He was of that era where they would do such a thing. And he said he's a tall man. And I can't remember what else he said about him. He said, now a woman's just walked in. And I did think when he said that about my dad, I thought, I was smoking outside. Was he standing there watching me? And then he said, now a woman's come in. And she said, and that could have been my mother. She died quite a few years ago as well. And he said that she's waving her finger at you like this. She said, you're mixing with the wrong people. And to be quite honest, I was mixing with the wrong people at the time as well. And I said quite out loud, I said, well, she's right. And it got a laugh anyway. And I can't remember what else they said. I thought it could have been guessing, because I'm of an age, I suppose. I wasn't of an age, that was about 15, 20 years ago, actually. No, about 15 years ago. Anyway, they spoke about that. I did pray to God before I spoke about this subject, because we got to have the belt of truth, which is Jesus Christ, and I don't want evil forces coming around me, and I believe that they are very prevalent in this country, Great Britain, and the world. But I remember speaking to this priest about 25, 30 years ago, I don't know, and I said to him about spiritualism, and I said, because I was at a church there, and I said to him, this was a Christian church, I spoke to a Christian priest, and I said, these people seem to be getting it correct, and whether they're giving the right information to people. Not all the time, but most of the time they're giving the right information. He said, how do you know it isn't demonic spirits mimicking people's loved ones? And that made me think, and I thought that sounds very correct. And that's exactly what it is. It's evil spirits mimicking people's loved ones. I thought that's very correct what he said, and I never thought of that. That's why I asked him, and he gave the right answer. I didn't expect that answer, but I'm pleased he did give that answer. Then you've got people saying they see aliens. I don't believe there's an alien outside of this planet. I believe we're the only ones that are the aliens, and the evil spirits and angelic angels, if you wish to call them aliens. They're not. There's heaven, hell, and the earth.